We finally got a Bleach game. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been waiting for over 2 years for a game like this. Bleach was one of my favorite animes growing up, and now that we actually have a game, I gotta tell y'all off the bat, it's actually really fun. So, if you are a Bleach fan, then I'll save you guys the time right now and say, yes, you should get the game. But if I'm going to be unbiased and appeal to somebody who may not have watched the anime or hasn't played anime games in general, as the game currently stands, it is a 7.5 out of 10. If you guys want to find out why, go ahead and watch to the end of the video. Let's get straight into it. So Bleach Rebirth of Souls is a very interesting game, and I think that it's something that all of us Bleach fans really wanted, and I think it's something that really appeals to different variety of people in the different niches. The game can appeal to Bleach fans because it goes through the entire story, all the way up to the end of the Aizen arc, or the that arc, right? Where we get Dangai Ichigo. Basically, that's where the story ends, and I think and speculate later on we're going to get 1000 Year Blood War arc story mode DLC, but as for right now, that is where the story ends. So if you guys don't watch Bleach, or you haven't watched Bleach, and you want to watch the anime and new updated graphics, and you want a good video game just in general with a good story mode, that's one of the main things that gives this game off the bat with a really good score. There's no slideshows, there's no laziness, everything is voice acted, and they even have filler scenes from the anime that weren't in there to give you a little more context on what was happening in the story, what different characters were doing, and it's just something that they put a lot of effort into. You can easily say and easily see that when it comes to this game, story mode was one of the biggest priorities, and it definitely is fun to watch and play through the story mode all over again in HD graphics. That's basically it. The reason why it appeals to FGC fans is because this game can be taken easily, or it can be taken in the more advanced route. This is something that anybody can play if you're a fan of anime games or if you're a fan of fighting games in general. But if you're somebody who likes to take games to a higher level and you like to study frames, we got an advanced training mode, and you can advance your combos in many different ways. So for the simple route, if you're a regular anime fan, you can hop on. You have your square combos into triangle. We have standard controls where you can basically do basic B&Bs, get a little bit of damage, and yes, you can win some matches playing in simple controls. Then, on the other hand, if you are an FGC enjoyer and you do like to take games a little bit more seriously and competitively, you can put the setting on advanced controls, as well as change your entire controller moveset and play in any way you want that makes you comfortable. It's a really advanced game in many different ways, and currently every single day there is new tech that is coming out to help people advance their combos. So on the screen you guys can see in the background is a simple combo and then a more advanced combo that definitely makes the difference when it comes to these online matches or story mode matches in general. It's really, really fun to lab. Each character in this game plays completely different, and the more you find stuff, the more you just get into the game, the more you want to go back into story mode or training and just lab different characters to find out how to make B&Bs, different mix-up, 50-50s, all the different terms that you guys are in the FGC niche love are literally in this game. It's really, really fun for that reason. Now that we're done talking about each of the individual characters, let's talk about the actual battle mechanics and how balanced the game actually is, because that's what really is going to make it or break it long term and really affect the general score of how good this game is. So if you guys are looking to play this game more so online with friends and against each other, then I'm going to have to say right now the game is fairly balanced. However, the game did drop with some bugs here and there, but I definitely think it is playable. The netcode online is fairly decent. As long as you're not playing somebody who's 3-bar or lower, I think you should be fine. But overall, it's really not that choppy from what I've experienced. The actual combat and balance of the game calls for a lot of 50-50s, mix-ups, dash-in, guard breaks, and a lot of neutral play. So it's definitely one of the more balanced games out there. I think the game can favor defense or offense depending on the character you're using. But overall, in terms of pure balancing, I don't think there's that many characters that are extremely broken at the moment. I do think some characters need to be toned down in terms of damages, resets, loops, and etc. things like that. But let's be real, no game in history has ever dropped with characters all being completely balanced and everything being completely fair. You can win with somebody like Chad, or you can win with somebody like Dangai Ichigo. But even so, if you're Dangai Ichigo, it's not like you're automatically guaranteed to win. Characters like Kenpachi, Soifon, and other characters that can kill with 6 Kenpaku attacks can beat characters who are top tier. So it definitely affects the absolute balance of the game and whether or not long term the game is fun. And if you have high tolerance and if you're willing to actually learn the game and matchups, then I think this is for you. If you are just somebody who's a casual anime game enjoyer, then prepare to be frustrated because there's a lot of knowledge checks on this game, and that is really going to dictate whether or not you win or lose a match. Some characters can hit you with 6 Kompaku and completely kill you if that's all you have left, and then there's other characters that have to consistently chip away at your Kompaku that only do 3 over time. So again, when you're picking your characters, you got to be extremely careful of who you're going to main, and again, even if you're playing characters that are lower tier, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't lose, because I myself lost to a Chad the other day, and sad to say, yes, Chad is somebody who can be viable if you understand the pure fundamentals of the game. So with that being said, I say I give the online about an 8 out of 10, and the actual gameplay mechanics in terms of balancing and how fun it is long term, definitely like a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, everybody feels different, and at the end of the day, if you're somebody who really likes FGC games, if you really like long-term labbing and figuring stuff out, then this game definitely is going to have like a really long-term impact for you in terms of what it offers. So that's pretty much like the best of what this game has. The story mode and online in terms of like what the characters can do, how balanced it is really what's selling it. But I talked all about the positives. Let's go about and talk about some of the negatives, because it's not all cookies and cream, and this game dropped with a lot of issues. If you're watching this gameplay, or if you're watching this video like in the future, way after the game is patched, then you probably don't have to worry about a lot of these things I'm talking about right now. But this is 3/26/2025. This is literally like 3 or 4 days after the release, and these are the problems that we currently have. For starters, the shop is very bare bones. Once you get the game, pretty much everything is already unlocked for you outside of Dangai Ichigo and a couple of online pictures in terms of like how you want to customize your picture, what character you have showing, simple plates and things like that. But outside of that, there is absolutely zero reason to grind on this game. Once you unlock Dangai Ichigo and beat the story mode, there's literally nothing to do. And that's something that I think needs to be addressed pretty quickly. And I think long term, if they want people to play this game outside of just, playing it for fun, then we definitely need some sort of grind, outfits, and extra things to get people a reason to go in the store. Because the only things you get in the store right now are basically things that enhance your story mode gameplay and things you can kind of add on to your characters if you want to play online with items. But outside of that, there's literally no reason to buy anything out of the store, and it's very, very bare bones. So that's something that I think needs to be fixed, and it's definitely something that brings down the score, because I don't mind everybody being unlocked. That part is fine. However, I think the costumes should have been something that you either have to grind through story mode or through online. I think they should have added something like Storm Connections, where you have a leveling system, and the higher you are, the more color costumes you unlock and different outfits you unlock, which basically give you literally an incentive to play online and actually grind. The game comes out, you already have everything in the game. It kind of feels like, what am I playing for? If you're not somebody who enjoys FGC games, or, if you're not somebody who's a diehard Bleach fan, there's genuinely no reason to consistently play online unless you just like the game that much, which is a huge problem long term. Next up, we got to really talk about the fact that this game also dropped without a ranked mode. Now, for me personally, I don't mind it because I'm a content creator, and with how I think video games go is basically when games drop, ranked is one of the quickest reasons why games die off, because people typically upload crazy jank stuff that the game has within the opening weeks of the game, and people will cheese this stuff nonstop on ranked, and it literally gives them an incentive to play disingenuous, and that same disingenuous energy is the same reason why people get off the game quickly. You don't want to play a game where you hop on ranked and you're going to be beaten every time by the same character who has like a 99% win rate because of cracked mechanics. Let's be real, the game is going to take some time to get some patches and fixes. So right now, me personally, I'm actually pretty happy we don't have a rank, because we're seeing all the broken jank stuff, and it gives them time to patch this stuff and then add something that's competitive, so that when you do hop online, you have an actual fair chance of ranking up and you're not fighting the same OP stuff over and over again. That's something that I definitely feel like is a good thing to do. However, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like ranked shouldn't be in the game, because most majority games should be dropping with rank. The reason why all these bugs and stuff are in the game is because they didn't test it enough, and that's going to take away from the score overall, which is why, again, it's not like an 8. That's going to push it down like 3 points, because the store is bare bones and we don't have a ranked. And Last but not least, before we go, I gotta talk about the fact that we also do not have lobbies. I almost forgot about that. The fact that we are dropping games in 2025 and we do not have host lobbies, we don't have endless lobbies, we don't have spectator mode, especially for games like this that are meant to be enjoyed by FGC enjoyers and by communities to host tournaments and do different events, is going to absolutely hurt the game if this is not fixed immediately. Like I said, me personally, I think this game has about 2 weeks to fix this. If we don't get a patch in 2 weeks with a ranked or spectator mode or endless lobbies or tournament or something, this game is going to die off very quickly. Outside of Bleach fans and FGC fans, or people who like to lab, there's no reason to play this game long term. And yes, it's fun to play with cool characters. Yes, it's going to be fun to play with Ichigo and, Toshiro and all these cool different characters. But after 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to get old and people are going to want to play with friends. They're going to want to spectate. They're going to want to host events. And nobody wants to parsec. Nobody wants to do local tournaments and all that other extra stuff when games in 2025 should not be dropping without lobbies in the first place. I think the company Bandai should learn by now that Storm Connections and Storm games in general and fighters, I mean, so many games have already dropped without these basic mechanics and suffered on launch and got horrible reviews because of it. And you would think that they learned their lesson, but of course, no. The game dropped unfinished. So that is the reason why Bleach Rebirth of Souls right now is a 7.5. The fact that the game has a great story mode is a great plus. It has great fundamental understandings. It's not a game that where you just hop online and pick a broken ass character and you can win. There's knowledge checks, there's 50-50s, there's resets. Like I said, every day people are coming up with new combos and different stuff that gives the game higher potential and skill ceilings. And you also can play it if you're casual amongst friends and just have fun as well. But the downsides are there's no endless lobbies, there's no tournament mode, there's no spectator, and there's no reason to play online unless you just like the game. There's nothing to grind for. And outside of that, inputs also don't go through if you're playing with a specific preset. That is why Bleach Rebirth of Souls is a 7.5 out of 10 at this moment. I've had plenty of good fun on this game, and overall, I'm trying to look at this from the best perspective, not being a Bleach fan. I'm trying to be really genuine to people who actually want to try this game. There's still a lot of people who haven't bought the game, and there are still a ton of issues and fixes that need to be fixed. Servers are good, but at certain points during lobbies, there are choppy moments, but typically they're not really long-term unless somebody just has bad net. Very rarely does it happen. I streamed for about 7 hours, and out of all my matches, maybe 6 times through all those matches did it chop up randomly. And to be honest, that's really not that bad. It's not. Compared to other games that just have completely bad net, overall, the inputs and the different net codes for this game is pretty solid. Like I said, the only thing that's really holding this game back is the fact that there's no reason to play online, and there's no reason to go in the store or grind for anything since the game already gives everything to you. But if you are a Bleach fan, I definitely think this is a buy. If you're an FGC fan, I definitely think this is a buy. But if you are somebody who's just looking to play a new anime game, or you just want to play something new, I think you should probably wait until they patch ranked in or until they patch some of the things online, and then you might have a genuine, more fun experience. And if you guys are watching the near future and all these things are fixed, and we have endless lobbies, we have tournament, we have ranked and all this other different stuff, then that definitely bumps the game up to like an 8.5. But until that happens, I'm definitely putting it to like a 7.5, 7 out of 10. But let me know what you guys think. I definitely think you guys are really going to enjoy this game if you do get it. And I definitely think it's something that's worth a buy. I'm having a ball. I haven't gotten bored yet. Even making this video, I hopped in the lab for like 30 minutes by accident, just trying to find new stuff to show you guys in the video. But let me know what you guys think. And I'll be dropping regular Bleach Rebirth of Souls content in the future, featuring guides, tournaments, content creator sets, and things that kind of help out the community and interact with you guys who are fellow Bleach fans. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I hope this helped you decide whether or not you want to purchase this game. This is Kaizen Kuma, and I'll see you guys on the next one.